Hello, happy Easter. I'm here to tell you about hot dyeing Easter eggs today. And today I am observing my background of being a Christian. We celebrate Easter during the holidays because we observe the crucifixion of Jesus and that he was risen and he died and he came back for us. I'm going to read a little part of my paragraph for you. It says that during the holidays we prepare the Easter celebration with food and decoration. For the holy season of Holy Week, we traditionally dye eggs, call them Easter eggs. I've been doing this since I was a child as a tradition in my family. Now that I do that with my children and my grandchildren as well. So it's something that I've done for many, many years. The places that I got my information was the source of, it's called CiteSourceEnglishHeritage.org from the UK, and also GoodHousekeeping.com and YouTube. Those are the places that I found my information on how to dye Easter eggs. There's many ways that you can dye Easter eggs, but I chose to just go ahead and do the traditional Easter egg dyeing because it's something simple and easy to do. And why do we eat Easter eggs on Easter? That was one of the things I figured I'd mention to my audience today. It says Easter is the most celebrated Christian event every year. Every year Christians around the world celebrate Easter. It says, remember Jesus' crucifixion and we celebrate his resurrection on Easter Sunday. Resurrection Sunday is what it's called. I am a Christian, so I do observe my Easter Easter Sunday. It usually falls on April 20th. And so it's an important part of the celebration to give eggs because eggs are a traditional thing that they do as a gift giving, but also an offering that you have given to the church because it represents new life. And so you see in the springtime there's a lot of new rebirth of little animals at this time. We're the season of spring, and so it's just a representation of the spring as well. All right, so what I'm going to do now is start showing you what I'm going to do to prepare to dye these Easter eggs. So I'm not going to use a dye. I'm going to use basically a food coloring. It's natural, and the best thing to use it to get it all prepared is the food coloring here. It's edible, safe, and you can eat that. Also, we'll be using water. We'll also use eggs that have been pre-boiled, prepared for you today. Also, I will be using vinegar, and I will be using that to add into the cups to prepare the Easter eggs. So just give me a moment. I'm going to show you what I've done previously. These beautiful eggs. So that's what they're going to look like when we're all done. So let me show you what I have. I have the tongs for grabbing because sometimes the dye is very, you know, it gets on your hands and it's very like staining on your fingers or something that you have. So you have to, you know, be careful not to get stuff on you. Then I'm going to be using this as my drying rack. It's a cupcake holder, but it works for the purpose of it. All right. And then I have little cups I'll be using. So here we go. We're going to add first 10 droplets of each color. This one's like a yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 little spots of that. All right, and then now this is the red one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then see, it's in the cup, as so. And then I have a blue. It's kind of a dark blue, but the color comes out a little bit later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, next I'm going to add some vinegar. Okay. All right. Actually, this is my water. I'm sorry. So, oopsie. So I'm going to add about a half a cup of water. My other half a cup of water. So you want to fill it enough so like when you're doing your egg, it'll cover your egg when it's in the dye. And here's another half a cup of water, like so. See? It's pretty simple. All right, let me get my vinegar. It's over there. All right. I'll need about a spoon to a tablespoon for the vinegar. So here we go. So I'm not going to measure because I usually do a free measure. So 1, 2, 3. I'm very used to cooking, so that's what I usually do. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Not pour it fast, but pour it slow. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And when you're doing egg dyeing, this is key to doing dyeing, is using the vinegar. This vinegar is nice. It's a distilled. It doesn't have a strong smell to it. There are other vinegars that are stronger, but I found out through looking through YouTube that the stronger the vinegar, the better the color. I use the light color because I really enjoy using this because the smells are kind of strong. And then when kids are dyeing, they don't like that smell. So these are my dyes. They're ready to go. What I'm going to do next is get an egg like this, put it inside of the tongs, put it inside of the dye. That's a nice blue color. And I don't throw it down, and I plop it nicely, because if you plop it, you might get splats and get it all over you. So this one's going in here. I want to cover very nicely. As you see, you don't see the top of the egg in here. Okay, and here's another one. I'm going to plop that in there. And you notice it goes a little higher once the egg's in there, so you got to be careful you don't spill. So now the eggs are going to be in here. I'm going to swish them around a little bit. I'm going to grab some paper towel here. Let it sit for a second. And swish this one around a little bit more. The color's coming out nice. And then I'm going to swish out this one a little bit also. See, the dye is going on, but this one's pretty light. I might add a couple more little drops in there, because I want the color to come out a little bit stronger. So I add 5 more drops. All right, so while those are sitting for a minute, I want to check and tell you a couple things about my Easter eggs. Eggs can be set up for decorations. They also can be used for a game. Children can play hide the egg, and then they go find it. They take their little Easter baskets and look for the Easter eggs all over the house or outside. The weather's kind of like sometimes rainy, sometimes not. But my children, when they were younger, they used to hide them all over the house, and they had a blast doing it. They got the little Easter baskets and filled them, and they enjoy eating the eggs. Also, Easter eggs are not just for decoration. They can be eaten for a food. So eggs are a protein, so that's a good fun fact. So you can have Easter eggs just plain, or you can take the eggs and smush them up, make some egg salad. Also, you can do some other egg dishes that require boiled eggs, which is like a potato salad, or sometimes devil eggs. That's a big favorite, especially during the holidays. So, all right. And then another fun fact is eggs were given to the church as a Good Friday offering. Villagers often gave eggs as a gift to the Lord. Of the manner of Easter eggs represents new life during the spring, also with new birth, just like I told you previously. Okay, here we go. Now this is my little drying rack I'm going to use, my little cupcake tin, and I'm going to take this out. Start with the blue, let it sit on here to dry for a little bit, and the color came out beautiful. And I'll just try this little. Next, I'll take out the red one, and then you can put it here to dry. And then here's another one. Put it here. And it came out nice, the colors and everything. They said sometimes if you put too much vinegar and you get bubbling, that could mess with the egg shell. So you don't want to put too much vinegar. You got to stick to the accurate amount that they require, because the chemistry does affect your egg. If you leave them too long, they might get kind of gummy when you're boiling them, and then when you're dyeing them, you can't put too much vinegar. Of course, like I said, it could mess with the shell. And then also be gentle to your eggs so you don't have cracking and then the food coloring goes inside. I mean, people can eat it, but people don't like to look at eating something blue because they're not used to doing that. But just the same. But also the other thing is, when you have eggs that are dyed like this, maybe you prepare them a couple days or a week before. Make sure that you put them in the refrigerator, because eggs can spoil. Just like any fresh egg, a boiled egg also needs to go in the refrigerator. Okay, so these eggs are drying, so I'm going to put in a couple more eggs into this mixture. Alrighty. Grab another one here. It's tasteful, but yeah, you just get a little system. So this is already prepared, so it goes a little faster. There you go. And you just put it in there. All right. All right, so now I'm going to grab one of these eggs that I took out. They, if there's a drip, it might be a drip or two. You take the egg, and then next you will dry it, pat it a little bit, and it should come out beautifully, ready to go. Just like this. Okay. And I'll put it in a drier section, and then I'll get the next egg, dry it. And then I'll put it back into the drying rack again. And the next one. And I'll dry that one. Look how beautiful the colors came out. This yellow is awesome. I'm glad I added more dye to it because it has such a beautiful color. But if you look and see, all of them have this very brilliant color. All right. Now I'm going to take out these other ones. Put them to dry. The blue, the red, and the yellow. Looks great. Okay, so now that's the dyeing I'm going to do for today. Now I'm going to move this over so I can bring it closer, and I'm going to finish drying the rest of these up. And then I'm going to put them on my egg crate with the other eggs for now. And another one, dry it. And another one, dry it. Looks good. So you can handle it. You won't get dye on you as you do this kind of thing. But before, when you're plopping it in there, you're more likely to get dye on you, and you might get a little discolor on your fingers or whatever, but just kind of have something to wipe your hands. And so these I already did, so I'm just going to put them on the side also. Okay, now that I'm done, I'm going to do my cleanup. So what I need to do is wipe these down, these tongs, because I won't use those anymore. And next I will dry my little pan. And it's all dry. So that can go here. Put all these food colorings inside of the food coloring box. You usually want to save them because if you stick them in a drawer or something, they could spill or whatever, but it's good to keep them standing up because they got small little caps. They're a little sensitive. All right. And then I'm gonna put these dyes down the sink. So I'm gonna put this on the side for now. And then I'm gonna show you what my eggs look like. Look how beautiful they all came out. Just beautiful. Looks like Easter for sure. All right. So I'm going to give you a fun fact about eggs. Fun fact. In the UK, people buy 80 million Easter eggs every year. That's a lot of eggs that are purchased. Could you imagine around the world how much eggs are bought? That's a lot of protein. Well, I hope that you guys have a great Easter, and I know I will. And I'm going to give you a quote. Hoping your Easter is sweet as a basket full of candy. Happy holidays. Have a nice Easter. Bye.
Happy Easter.